Rick's List, CNN weekday afternoons, 3 Eastern.
Do you know how many Muslims there are in the world?
I think there's about 1.5 billion.
Yeah. So I guess I ask you that question because that's a very big number. Why would you want to do this to 1.5 billion people, as you say, in the world by burning their most sacred book? That's crazy.
Well, for one thing, for us, the book is not sacred.
But it is for them.
But it is for them. Doing this action.
So if I don't,
us.
But I don't mean to interrupt. But you just told me something that's ridiculous. To you, it's not sacred. How about it's sacred to them? That's like saying I'm going to burn down your house because I don't like your house. It's not my place to burn down your house.
No, we're not burning down a house. And what we are also doing by the burning of the Quran on 9/11, we're saying stop. We're saying stop to Islam, stop to Islamic law, stop to brutality. We have nothing against Muslims. They are welcome in our country. They are welcome to worship. We have freedom of worship. We have freedom of speech. They are welcome. What is not welcome?
So
what we are saying with the burning of the Quran, what is not welcome is Islamic law and the brutality of Islamic law. That is what's not welcome.
How would you feel if a Muslim said to you what you just said to them? I have no problem with you, Mr. Christian. You're welcomed in my country, but I'm burning your Bible. How would you feel?
I would not like it, but it's their right. We live in America.
Well, they live in
America.
America.
I want to make a statement. It is time to stand up and speak out on what we believe in. We believe that Islam is of the devil, that it is causing billions of people to go to hell.
You believe that.
It is a deceptive religion.
You believe
that. It is a violent religion.
You believe that.
That is proven many, many times.
No,
and
because
it is time that churches, politicians stand up and speak the truth.
There are moderate Muslims, sir, who live in this country, who love America probably every bit as much as you say you do. Some of them died on September 11th.
That is exactly right. There
There
is moderate Muslims.
Why are you insulting them?
There are moderate Muslims, but there is no such thing as a moderate Islam. I do not understand why people defend Islam. All you have to do is just look in Islam-dominated countries, and you will see the oppression.
That's fine.
Why defend it?
You're right.
Why do we defend oppression? Why do we defend a country like Saudi Arabia who do not even allow women to have a driver's license?
Why would you
people defend
want to
Islam?
act in a way that's very much like what they do? Why would you sound or do something as hateful as to burn their most sacred book?
Because we believe the times call for it. It calls for radical times. If we do not stand up, if we do not do something, if we do not, this church and other churches do not call people to stand up, you know what's going to happen to us?
Yes.
We're going to end up like Europe. Look at England. Look at Germany. Look at Holland. We're going to end up like that because Muslims.
So burning their book and doing something as hateful.
Is a believer in the Quran. The Quran calls for the killing of unbelievers.
So burning.
A true Muslim believes in Sharia law. Sharia law okays honor killings.
Well,
is that really a religion that we want here in America?
The problem is, sir, as being a devotee of the Prince of Peace, just as you are, you do Christians in this country a disservice by sounding as hateful as you do and saying that you're going to perform hateful acts, as you say you are, for people who may not necessarily believe the things that you say they do. We'll leave it at that. My thanks to you, Terry Jones, for coming on.
The most news in the morning. CNN's American Morning. Weekday, 6 a.m. Eastern.
Why are you going to burn Korans?
Yeah, we first declared September the 11th International Burn a Quran Day, actually for two reasons. Number one, we wanted to remember those who were brutally murdered on September the 11th. And actually, we wanted to send a very clear message to the radical element of Islam. We wanted to send a very clear message to them that we are not interested in their Sharia law. We do not tolerate their threats, their fear, their radicalness. We live in the United States of America. We want to send a clear message to the peaceful Muslims. We have freedom of speech, we have freedom of religion. They are more than welcome to be here, more than welcome to worship, more than welcome to build mosque. But our 9/11 demonstration, our 9/11 protest is to send a clear message to the radical element of Islam that we will not tolerate that in America.
Well, I wanted to let you say your piece because when I first read this story, I thought there's no way that this could be as bad as it sounds. It appears that it is. You're saying that you're going to burn the holy book of another religion to send a message to the radical elements of that religion with no thought to the fact that you'd obviously be highly offending everyone in that religion. How do you justify that?
Well, we realize that this action would indeed offend people. Offend Muslims. I am offended when they burn the flag. I am offended when they burn the Bible. But we feel that the message that we are trying to send is much more important than people being offended. We believe that we cannot back off of the truth of the dangers of Islam, of the dangers of radical Islam, just because people are going to be offended. Overseas, we see they have no problem burning our flag. They have no problem calling for the death of America.
Right, but this isn't overseas. This is America. I mean,
so we feel it's time to stand up.
But this isn't overseas. I mean, this is America. And you just said that you welcome peaceful Muslims and you welcome people to build Qurans. I mean, you know, freedom of religion is one aspect of what makes our country so great and different from many countries around the world. So why would you want to play into that?
We are not playing into it at all. I just made a very clear statement. Muslims are welcome here. They are welcome to worship as long as they submit to, obey the Constitution of the United States and do not sooner or later try to institute Sharia law in America. Our message is very clear. It is not to the moderate Muslim. Our message is not a message of hate. Our message is a message of warning to the radical element of Islam. And I think what we see right now around the globe proves exactly what we're talking about.
What about turn thy cheek? I mean, this is, you know, Christianity at its most, you know, refined. It's that you don't act out in violence. You don't act out in any manner of hate. That you turn thy cheek. That you don't rise to the nastiness or the level of payback that your perceived enemies do. I mean, isn't this the exact opposite of what Christ taught all of us to be and to do?
I agree with you exactly. I think most of the time we as Christians are indeed called to turn the other cheek. I believe that most of the time talk and diplomacy is the correct way. But I also think that once in a while, I think you see that in the Bible, there are incidents where enough is enough and you stand up. Jesus went into the temple and he threw all of the money changers out. He did not ask them to leave. He was not peaceful. He was at that time very, very upset. Even when his very close friend and disciple Peter, even when he tried to stop Jesus from fulfilling his will, from fulfilling the Father's will, Jesus called him the devil. Jesus called the religious leaders of that time serpents and snakes. So I agree that most of the time diplomacy and turning the other cheek is the proper way.
Or you don't care, I mean, yes or no, you don't really care if you're offending Muslims by burning the Quran, right? That doesn't bother you if they're offended.
We realize that we are definitely offending them, yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. Does it bother you, though?
We actually think that Muslims should...
I just want to ask you about this. Does it bother you that the military and the military leaders believe that by doing this, you are very likely putting the lives of U.S. soldiers at risk in Muslim countries? David Petraeus, the general, this is what he said. Their actions will in fact jeopardize the safety of young men and women who are serving in uniform over here and also undermine the very mission that they're trying to accomplish. Are you willing to have the blood of soldiers on your hands by this demonstration?
Yeah, we are actually very, very concerned, of course, and we are taking the general's words very, very serious. We are continuing to pray about the action on September the 11th. We are indeed very concerned about it. It's just that we don't know, I mean, how long do we back down?
So you're saying that you
when
very
do we
might
stop backing down?
You might well not go through with this? You're saying that you're praying about it. You may not burn the Quran on September 11th?
I'm saying that we are definitely praying about it. Well, we have firmly made up our mind, but at the same time, we are definitely praying about it. But like I said, I mean, how long? I mean, when does America stand for truth? I mean, instead of us being blamed for what other people will do or might do, why don't we send a warning to them? Why don't we send a warning to radical Islam and say, look, don't do it?
Well, I'm not questioning.
Look, if you
I'm
attack
not questioning
us,
your intelligence.
If you attack us, we will attack you.
I'm not questioning your intelligence, but I am wondering if you've thought through the consequences of doing this, of what may happen, and whether or not you'll end up doing far more harm than good.
We are definitely doing that. We are definitely weighing the situation. We are weighing the thing that we are about to do. What it possibly could cause, what is our actual message, what are we trying to get across, how important is that to us right now? That is very, very important that America wakes up. It's very important that our president wakes up. It's very important that we see the real danger of radical Islam.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Well,
actually, everyone should be in agreement with us.
We have to go.
There should be no disagreement there. We are not against Muslims. We're not against a mosque. We are against the radical element of Islam. Even moderate Muslims should be on our side.
No moderate Muslim's going to be on your side when you're burning their holy book. I mean, that just sounds silly.
That's not, of course, it's not silly.
You're burning their holy book. They're supposed to be on your side. I don't get that part.
Let me finish.
Listen,
you can say we are not for the burning of the book, but we are for what this man is saying. What he is doing, we're not for that. We don't believe in burning our holy book. We don't believe in burning the Quran.
Don't you think you
but what
could
he is
possibly
saying,
reach out to more
we
people
are actually
by
for
not
that.
burning the
we
Quran
are against
on September
radical
11th?
Islam. Excuse me?
I said, don't you think you could possibly do more good about bringing attention to your concerns over radical Islam by not burning the Quran on September 11th, by saying, you know what, we're going to take the higher road here. We're not going to do this.
At this time, no. I believe that we are dealing
right.
with an element that you cannot talk to. We're dealing with an element they must be shown a certain amount of force, a certain amount of determination, and putting a stop to it.
That doesn't sound like the Christianity most of us were taught, but you know what? I thank you for your time and your perspective this morning. Dr. Terry Jones, thanks for being with us.